Let's see if I can turn on my light. It's not gonna happen. I mean, it might. Hi, welcome to my tube. My name's Marge. I'm a yoke empath. I just like having these little talks and the way I feel about things. Today I feel pretty good about stuff. It's kind of a rough morning. Tucker frickin' was all excited about breakfast. I try to keep him off the frickin' linoleum and out of the kitchen. I just can't, dude. I just can't. So he freaking slid, and I hear him cry, and all I do is I just picture their little, like, bone structure, because he came from a puppy mill, man. I fucking hate breeders, dude. There's no such thing as a reputable, as far as I'm concerned. Because you do it enough, and it's either harmful to the mother, or, you know, a mother has so many, we only let them have some, shut. Then you have their babies, it's just genetics. You know, you might as well take that vaccine. It's all the same shit. What you're willing to do for profits. I'm not willing to do a lot of that shit. My dogs don't even get vaccines anymore, man. They just don't go around other dogs. We keep them out of harm's way, man. So he hurt his little back end. I can't tell if it's his knee or if it's like his hip, because he's babying it. Right now he's sleeping. Hopefully he'll just sleep in the sun for a while. So, so we got all these planets in Capricorn, then they're all gonna freaking jump into Aquarius. Is that what's going down? It don't matter, it's just, shit's weird, dude. Shit's just freaking weird. And however weird you are inside, you're gonna freaking meet the weirdness out in the world. That's why, it makes me laugh when people talk about making the world a better place. Let's raise the Earth's vibrational frequency. It just makes me laugh. I'm like, how many people are freaking doing the daily disciplines to freaking raise their own vibe? See, ain't nothing external is gonna save us. The planets are lining up. I just look at them as big old cogs that just fit in and just fit, and then just planets and energy just moving all around, you know. And whatever you got, the darkness you got inside is going to match outside. That's why I meditate, I pray, God, please, God, keep the demons from me, from coming spouting out my mouth. Keep them from me, God. Put on the armor of God. I got a couple different makes and models. See, World War III is of the spiritual variety. Hope you're okay, Autumn. I heard Autumn got in a car accident. And, you know, it doesn't matter. It has more to do with your life path than your circumstances around you to determine what your days of darkness will be. Some people, their days of darkness is just going to be freaking life-throwing bullshit. Just for, you know. Some of it's like losing people you love. It depends on your course, your path. Some of us have like a little dog that, you know, because you can't account for everything. I need to put more rugs all over the place. I need to put rugs down so they can grip. Because they don't listen to me to stay out of the kitchen. So yesterday I started to talk and I was a little bit rushed, so I wanted to reiterate it about energy and gender. Because I speak from my own life experience. You know, just my own perspective. I pick up things from the collective conscious, you know, collective, like, mindset, but I ain't no predictor. I don't predict things. I just see the potentials of how things can go, and either they go that way or they don't. Sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm wrong, but even a broke clock is right 2 times a day. So, everything has an energy field. I like how the UFO lady, Gina, the UFO lady, is talking about, she's looking at all the plasma. That's an energy field. It's all energy. Everything has an energy field. This cup has an energy field. It's upside down today. There. It's a little hot. My coffee's a little hot today. So everything has an energy field. A rock has an energy. I used to pick up Always, I get in trouble for always bringing rocks home because Mom wouldn't always check my pockets, and all these trinkets and all this stuff I collect would end up in the wash and the dryer. I'm a collector of things. I like to collect things based on their energy field, you know. I've been looking my whole life for freaking arrowheads ever since I was a little girl. So I was always told if you found an obsidian arrowhead, that beneath that, gold? Or is that iron? Was that iron ore? No. See? It doesn't matter. There's a timeline where one is true, and there's a timeline where another is true. And timelines are just all potentials of reality on how things can go, based on how many people are looking at one idea. On how they're, hey! And how they're lining up. Minnie, it's okay. She does a sleepy girl. She does some sleeping. That's all. Good boy, Benny. Good boy, Benny. Go ahead. Get up there. Go now, you share. You sure have a girl. So, everything has an energy field, and people get it twisted. People put their perceptions and energy. There's masculine energy, there's feminine energy, there's loving energy, there's hateful energy. There's all these different. Energy to me is the way I see it is a frequency tied to emotion, and all that stuff is in the eye of the beholder. All of it's in the eye of the beholder. We are the beholder. The offense, it's a chosen thing. Happiness, it's chosen. It ain't always easy to achieve because the more sometimes you make a conscious decision that you're going to go for happiness, the universe says, okay, here's your little obstacle course. What are you willing to do to achieve happiness? You're going to hang on to your spirit. You're going to let go of that little spirit a little bit more and more every day and step more into ego. So when I was born, I think I died in my past life. The way I see it is, it was an accidental death. I was in my prime, and I've been in many incarnations past. And then, but the thing of it is I racked up so much shitty karma from being a man, from being a scumbag, freaking Viking, whatever, just pillaged, did all that stuff that men do when they feel like it because they can. Based on, being impaired by alcohol, drugs, stimulants, whatever, because I was an egomaniacal fucking pig. That is how I see the egomaniacal fucking pigs in society today, is because, hey, I recognize me. When I was a scumbag before, I act like that. So, when I came into this incarnation, you can imagine my surprise that I was a young girl. And then the things that happened to me, you can imagine my surprise about the monstrosities of the things that happened to me from the time I was 10 months old. Yeah, gross. You don't think people rape babies? Happens every day, still. My hip still pops. I laugh because it's just like people live in ignorance. They live in ignorance. And my whole life has been denied because people have lived in ignorance under the assumption that stuff like that doesn't happen. Well, stuff that happens, and then the people that do it put it right in your face, and then they laugh at you for being so dumb that you don't think that stuff like that happens. And then they take all of our tax money and do it with our tax money too. It's funny. So, our spirits, the way I look at it, they travel through time and space, and they lifetimes are like checking into a life library. You walk into the Akashic records where all the in-between spaces, where your last breath goes into the ethers, if you will or won't. I don't care. And then you're like, I'm going to try all this stuff in this incarnation. And in order, and these are the life lessons that I'm going to learn. And these are my family members. And these are the people that I'm going to pick to screw me over because I'm going to let them. Because I'm going to go against my knowing every time until I start to go for my minority. And I'll start cutting all those freaking asshats out of my life until there's nobody left. And then slowly you're going to come in alignment with people of your same frequency tribe. And they're going to come in. Some people are stale, some people will go. It's just how life is. So, when I was a little girl, I had all this remembrance of all this man stuff. I was born an old man, dude. I always want to wear bow ties, and I do now. I do today. Or not today, but I do. I have like 30-something in my drawer in there. A bunch of them. And so I came into this incarnation with all this and I acted like a little dude. I mean, from the time I was 2, I'd act like, I'd smoke cigarettes and, And then Mom would get in relationships when she was younger, when I was younger, and she was younger too. And then she'd always put the men in before us. She made them the priority. So then I was just like, well, dude, maybe I should be a dude because they get all the fucking, they get all the good presents at Father's Day, even if they're shitty fathers. They get to go, they get to do all the fun stuff, But the thing of it is a lot of them are fakers. A lot of them are fakers. So we come into this incarnation, and I was overcompensating because I thought, I was remembering all. But, as I got older, and when I was a kid in the 70s, so when I was having these thoughts, of like how much it would be cool to be of the opposite gender because the grass is always greener, they get to pee anywhere they want, They don't ever have to make dinner or do laundry. This is how it was in the 70s. It was more like that, But I looked at it as they had all these different, and then when I started my period when I was like 8, that fucking sucked. That's another thing I hated about being a woman. So I overcompensated, right? My energy. I just wanted to deny all the feminine based on what I saw in Mom being weak and like getting her ass kicked all the time and still going back and asking for more and just like keep your mouth shut and all this shit, and seeing all this stuff and then I just kept denying the feminine. What happened was I kept getting more and more angry. Because I was one of those babies, people like to make fun of people, like, what's the matter? Didn't your mom, like, hug you when you were a baby and stuff like that? As a matter of fact, I didn't get that. That's why it's fucking amazing that I'm such a kind and loving person today, because I didn't get jack shit. I had to learn to love myself and soothe myself, see? I didn't get what a lot of other people got when, the baby, just take care of her. No, fuck that. I didn't even meet Mom until I was on this earth for day 3 because of what society was allowed to do even back in the 70s. They cut her uterus in half, took one of her ovaries out, they sterilized her without her permission. Yeah, they still do that shit today. See, everyone, they're trying to demonize people that fucking, I love the land in which this country was founded on, but you fucking beer brats ruin this country. They're all perverted and gross and ruin this country. So, and and I grew out of that. I want to be a man, and most kids do. Everybody goes through certain life cycles and everybody has all the same thoughts. It's just some are really pushed to live out these thoughts. And when I was young, it's like, you had to go to a psychologist for a year. You had to do all this stuff. Now it's just like, there's a treadmill of kids and people that they just want to change their sex and gender. But the reality of it is, those surgeries are fucking evasive. They hurt. You'll be happy now, but when you get older, that scar tissue you're going to be constantly reminded of it. Whether you made the right choice or not, God don't make junk. And when you start messing with freaking DNA and the body, and that includes the freaking people that freaking do plastic surgery. There's homeless people there's people that don't have basic needs, their basic needs met all over this country. And people are going to spend fucking $40,000 putting a fucking bird nose on that everybody else has because they all go to the same doctors and the doctor has the same. All he does is one nose. So all these people come out with the same fucking nose. Now, I would love to be completely abstained from all things to ingest. I don't take any pharmaceutical drugs. I take the flower that God gives us, cannabis, and I infuse it in butter and make cookies. And that helps with my migraines that I don't have about 3 days a month. And the freaking compression in my spine, in my T7, 8, 9, 9, no, I stand, it's T9, 10, 11, T9, 10, 11, you know. So, and it's kind of interesting, is that people are waking up to realizations that their spirit is all time. Your spirit happens at all time. It's when we take our mindscapes is where we break our own heart. Because God, He don't go with you in the past and He ain't in the future because it ain't happened yet. God is only with us in the present moment. And so when people want to freaking take that present moment and fill it with freaking evasive fucking bullshit, and shame on you parents. Shame on you parents for overindulging, enabling the fuck out of your children and not disciplining them and teaching them how to discipline themselves. You know what, kid? You think whatever said gender, you think you want to be the other thing? Try it on for a little while. Try it on for a little while. And no, you get to go home and use your own bathroom. Or use the family bathroom. You know, I was a little girl. It was so. Last time I went into Wally World, I got called sir. It's energy, dude. It's energy. So I forgot where I was gonna go with that. Oh, but when I was a little girl, this is just something that weird people do. See, there's people that just like to make people feel bad. They're the sucks. You have the positive and the minuses, and they're the minus. When someone that just happy-go-lucky Marge, be bopping along, many new, popping in the bathroom, gotta pee, Hope there aren't any pretty ladies in here, because makes things weird, And then someone coming out, and they're like, an adult. Are you a boy or a girl? What fucking difference does it make? I'm fucking 4. Let me go pee, you know what I mean? I'm a girl. I know what, I go in the girl, it's oh my God. That's why I'm trying to redefine my definition of Christians, because those are the people that I met that identify as Christians. So evidently, Christians are entirely different. So okay, well, people like her say she's a Christian. So what kind of Christian are you? You know what I mean? It's just like, people make me laugh. They're so silly. Words are synonyms. So letting kids try stuff on, but this, it makes me, and then that freaking Juno? You're too Juno? E2 Juno? You want a wiener? You could buy one at a store. You don't gotta freaking cut stuff off and dude, I looked into the top surgery because I wear men's tops and freaking bow ties and stuff, and they just fit better. And I got braces instead. Anyway, but you got draining tubes and shit in there for freaking weeks because they give you because it's just a breast reduction that's what they call it. But they're stupid. They're just flesh bean bags doing sacks to me. The soul sack is just all silly to me, how it operates and works. It's like, you want me to drink how much water a day? That's a lot of peeing, and I got better things to do than having to pee all the time. It's It's whatever you can live with, man. This is out of control. So, you know, and that's why I think that's funny when I see people who people are married to, because a lot of times people are drawn to the opposite the opposite, all of the things that they recognize themselves to be void of. That's what I understand how people pick significant others. Unless you have the narcissist and they can't get enough of themselves, so they ended up fucking themselves, and it's like those are the people that end up like their spouses, they look alike. It's just like you're fucking yourself. You know, they act, their personalities the same. Like, congratulations, you're fucking yourself. It's like, anyway, what do I know? I've been perpetually single my whole entire life. The longest relationship I've ever been in was like 3 years, three and a half years. And that was just because she was going through her master's degree for most of that, I think. Anybody in the talk room? Hi of the state. Hi of the state. Had to play that back 3 times. Better or worse? I think Quincy, you nailed it. Quincy actually was my friend. I like Quincy because that was the first forensics doctor show I ever watched. I've been trying to bust people out for their shadow my whole entire life. I've been looking for the things the culprits. They're usually the ones that act like they're really, really good. They're really good. They don't want you to see their shadow side. And they're the friend. I'm like, what is it? What is it, Nellie Olson? Or Ferg? What's that shadow? I know there's a shadow part in there. But I think that we make what are ultimately our demise, our vibe. We'll track it. I hope I'm not tracking more piles of shit. Myanmar? No. I don't really want that. Living here forever and relying on... No, I don't want that at all. I do like working in gardens, though. Cookie monster. Kind of a cookie monster. I make good cookies. I'm not really a monster, though. Never right here. I know who monsters are. I never identified with monsters. I've met a lot of real monsters, dude. I've seen... And the thing is like, people don't want to recognize people as their true lineage. See, I don't think I look at human beings. I don't look at them as American or Canadian or Italian. I look at them as like Palladian. You know, I'm from Sirius B, I believe. And that means something to me that there ain't a whole lot like that defines that. How I determine that, everybody else is going to have their own steps to determine it, you know. And there might be people that think that they're from Sirius B too. But when we sit down and write out our list of like what criteria, you know, why we think that, our lists aren't probably going to be the same. And then there might be some of those same freak tribe that our lists are exactly spot on. See, our heartbeat, if you look at an EKG, you know, the heartbeat, bloop, it's like it goes up, energy spikes, and then there's a dip. And then it kind of, and then there's a baseline, and then it goes, bloop, right? We're mostly the absence in between. We're mostly baseline. We're mostly like you know. And like I said, when people get really active, their heart beats more. And I think the more that your heart beats, it like gets your generator going because it gets your, the oxygen. We're just a machine. Our soul sacs are just an ergonomic freaking vessel, spaceship, and our soul, our spirit guides our spaceship. And what we do by the foods we eat, the shit that we watch, how we love things, how we let things love things, the balance within us draws our experience in life. And people, look at my world is actually pretty positive, but it's been pretty negative for quite some time. It's been a hard few years for me. My life turned out completely 180 than what I had planned. But isn't that funny? How many people know that? You want to make God laugh? Tell him your plan. Because unless your plan is in line with your higher self, God hires your spirit, then things have a way of working themselves out. I never thought I'd end up in northern New Mexico. When I thought about all the places I tried to go, this was not on the list. My dog bite itches today. You ever been bit by a dog? I got bit by a dog in October, and it freaking got me twice. In the tissue, deep. So, like, people realize things, I'm just lucky I didn't get some sort of fucking nasty infection. Or nothing. Lucky for me, the dog's healthy and old. Maybe it wasn't that old. I think it was pretty old, but anyway, freaking sucked, man. I've been bit by a lot of dogs, a couple of cats, And as spirits, we're supposed to have all these different spectrums of experience. I go out in the world, and people tell me about their life and the things that they have experienced. I'm like, okay. Yeah, a lot of people go to college. Yeah, that happens to, yeah, okay, so you're pretty mainstream. It's the ones that have done that extraordinary things. Those are the ones that I like. Then I start talking about the places I've gone and the things that I've seen, and I just lose people. Usually when you vibe high, see, everybody that does the mundane, people that all do the same baseline, all the fucking face diaper wearers and stuff, they're all the same. They're all the same. All their experience is the same. Sometimes, every now and again, there's people up here in the spectrum, life experience. People see some shit, done some stuff, taking some risks and chances, and they didn't work out every time. But they kept trying anyway. Yeah, those. There are not a lot of them. Dreamers? No, there's people that say they're dreamers, and a lot of people pay them to say they're dreamers. But the reality of it is, try it ain't right. We get to see it right. People all thinking the same shit. I was listening to a talk by Dolores Connor, and it's a rerun about indigo, us indigo kids, light work, whatever. I qualify so much that it's hard for me to recognize the real, true, authentic ones that are like me, because most of them are in for it for the money. And when people are in for it for the money, totally takes the spirit out of it. And then you have ego. How many vacations homes you got? You got any timeshares? Too many fucking homeless people at this point to have all that empty real estate. Anyway, I got my own ideas. I'd like to open my own, space. But once you open your own space and you invite people to come and work in the garden, it becomes like everything else. People get other ideas how they want it done. That's fine, that's cool, I hate being in charge of shit. I just want people to police themselves and to have a personal constitution where they don't freaking trash things. And people don't, because people that vibe low, You ever known that kid that took his diaper off with a big old turd in it and wiped it on the wall? And was like, ah, ah, and then the parents are like, oh, that's so cute. Well, that kid grows up. So now, as I see it in society, you have a bunch of people wiping shit on the wall. And there ain't going to be nobody there to clean it up. Come on, Benny. Benny, go sit right up. Come on. So I was watching Zach, the Gematria Effect. Hi, Benny. Want to say hi? Did you get too hot? Did you get too hot? You get in the sun, you get too hot, huh? You go hit the hydration station? Huh? Want to say hi, Benno? Say the hydration station. Benny, say hi. Benny is a low rider. Benny, low rider. Benny, go boy, Benny. There's a waggity tail of Benny. Flying nun dog. Marge, don't make fun of me to Marge. Been a good sport though. He's not gonna be mad about it. So did I wrap up my ideas and thoughts about energy and gender and how they're not the same thing? And as much as we have to learn from children, we are still their guides. Yeah, we're their guides, you know. As much as we have to learn from them, so it's an adult's responsibility to not lead them astray. It is just it's what kids are allowed to do. It's just like, really? I say it too. I'm like, you're just gonna act that's that. Wow, that's cool. Wow. Fast forward 20 years, that kid's gonna have a, you know. You like my shirt? It's my basic training t-shirt. Oh, basic training. Everything's backwards. Basic training t-shirt. It's funny. Second to none. Except for their fucking graphics. That's a. What did your kid win the bid on that? This is what the military is about. Making t-shirts. Did you get the t-shirt? I got the t-shirt. I was flight 111, flight 112. Our brother flight was 111. That would have been cool if it was flip-flop, but... So, when I was in the Air Force, it makes me laugh, too. It's the military-industrial complex, sponsored by Pervy Uncle Sam. Directly from Corp USA. Every time I hear USA, I think about that old movie, The Toy Richard Pryor, which she called him US. So I think about, she had a list, so she called USA. USA. This country's really shown its ass. I wonder what this planet would be if people mattered more than money. I really do. I've never seen it. I don't think nobody on the planet alive right now has. Because the control freaks don't want you to. They don't want you to. Stop living globally. Live locally. People, I was listening to Divided We Fall earlier, and he started talking about seeds, and I'm like, I wonder if I could get me some good seeds. I never did tomatoes before. I never grew tomatoes, and that's like something people try and do in frickin' when I lived in Omaha. You always had the one guy that always planted too soon. Then they'd get that last freeze, you know. I might try to do that. See, food is only as high vibrational as the person that grows it, because cooperation is nature's way. That's why I like Luther Burbank. Luther Burbank created the first thornless variety rose. And how he did it was he talked to the rose and he'd tell the rose every day, you don't need thorns, I'm going to protect you. You don't need to protect yourself, I'll take care of you, make sure you're safe, I'll make sure you got all the food you need, water. And the variety of rose began to grow without the thorn. But this shit don't happen, does it? See, this world is so limited. The reason why this world is so limited because people lack scope. They lack imagination. But I wonder where they would get imagination if they were never taught how to have an imagination or use the imagination. Because everybody's too busy looking and thinking about the same stuff. So, supposedly the temperature is the same that it's been the last however long, week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks here. But the thing of it is as we get closer to spring, the sun gets a little bit higher in the sky. And I'm trying to pay attention to everything because this is my first spring in northern New Mexico. And the vegetation around here scares the shit out of me. Oh my god! I'm just gonna like cut everything down because it's like I took my little Black & Decker weed whacker out there and the weeds looked at it and said, "What the fuck are you gonna do with that?" And I was like, "I don't know. I was just gonna show you what I got." So, but the energy is building. It's building. It's building, and it's building in me. And I feel and reflect that out in the universe. It's beautiful. And I was so happy to see Brady, God bless you for freaking raising your vibe. He quit the freaking soda. He quit smoking cigarettes. You know, and it's funny because I know he and I are paths crossed before. He is doing it in the order in which I did it, only I did it years ago, and now he's doing it. So, but a lot of people, that's the thing, is you can look, this is my experience as a spiritual being having a human experience. Sometimes people jump in and visit me, and we have the same experience for a while, until I usually say something and piss people off, and then they're like, I'm done with her. Like, what did I say? And usually it has me something to do with like, dude, I am just a cake away from being a fat person myself. And I eat a lot of cake. I just have to do it in bites. I was a fat person. I talk about fat people. And it hurts people. It hurts some people's feelings because they themselves choose to be offended because that's how they identified it. But even when I was like 200 pounds, I'm like, do I really look like I'm 200 pounds? As the ooze was hanging over my freaking pant belt. Do I really, you know? Because I didn't, but the thing of it is, but what's a fat person? For me, a fat person is that has been without. So when I have some, I'm gonna freaking take it all because I don't know when. You know, it's some people call it poverty mentality. You know what poverty? They call whatever you want. I don't care what people call it. The thing is, there's so many people on the planet that have never experienced it, that never had to go through shit in your life where you had to be resourceful. Like, oh shit. How am I going to get out of this? See, I put myself in a lot of those positions. Unbeknownst to me, I'm just bebopping in life, and then I get myself involved. I'm like, oh shit, what am I going to do? And then I look at a problem like a puzzle. And what do I need to solve this puzzle? and what's worked for me is, I try to meditate about an hour. Some days the energies are not conducive to meditate state. Today is like, what is it? The 2nd of February. Zach was doing his thing over on the Gematria project, man. It's all numbers. You know what I want him to do now? I get that you see the codes and stuff. I want him to level up, and I want him to start doing predictive. You know? Like, know the numbers. Start looking at people that are getting, you know, and start, I bet he can. I bet he can predict when people are going to be, their number is up. I bet he can. But see, you know, so if anybody gives the chance, tell Zach to start predicting shit. And so we can, so you know, and teaching people that. Because it's all a game. We live in a bunch of rich people's chess game. It's freaking weird. You know? The cool part of it is God. He's playing 5D chess. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 dimension chess. Yeah, you be nice. You share a bed. You don't be intervening or do this or grab your girl. She said, I was sunbathing and they pissed me off and annoying me, those stinky boys. So, people are going to start feeling that life force kundalini, life force energy. Thing of it is I hope they use it wisely. Use that energy wisely, and you start getting ideas and thoughts about, I don't care how stupid it is. You're going through your life and you're like, man, this is really inconvenient. There's a better way to do said thing. Write down the better way to do it. We have a chance to make heaven on earth. Now, more than ever. It could be a reality. Or the timeline exists. Boys are going to play with their atomic bombs because you got to stimulate the economy, and then the 19-year cycle perpetuates. We might not be able to go down and, I know a lot of people are going to freaking outwardly evolve because they're not going to use their energy wisely. But just remember, the idea that whatever gets left behind. Even when I was in the Air Force, I learned airmen get left behind. I was literally fucking left behind. They all fucking went to the chow hall, and you had to have this this zip up bag thing that you had with your airman's manual and your UCMJ handbook. And you better not leave it. It's stupid bullshit. I'm like, I'm 26 and this is what we carry around, a little bag. Anyway, I left mine upstairs. So I had to run back and get it because God forbid you leave your little black bag. So fucking dumb. I'm like, this is what... And there's fucking generals sitting around a table going, let's make them do this. Let's make them do this. It'll be great. Fucking dummies. Fucking brass, man. Anyway, they're very unimaginative, and they're always told that their ideas are good, even when they're stupid. Like corporate America. So, and then when I came back downstairs, I was like, oh shit, where did they go? Because we always ate in a different chow hall, and each dormitory had its own chow hall. And so I just freaking guessed. Oh, okay, you look familiar. I think I belong here. But all that, everything we're ever told, I've always just thought, you know what? I bet there's a lot of people that's not true for. And those are the folks that I vibe with. I never believe people just because they told me shit was true. I know what a fucking lie feels like. I'm sorry that more people don't. Or that if you do feel a lie, you just ignore it and then allow it. Because if you ignore a lie, then you're just allowing it. And all that stuffing, people feel bad. I feel bad because I didn't stick up for myself. I'm going to go eat this frick half pizza. I feel bad because I didn't, I don't believe in this. You know how I know that we live in a world where money matters more than people? How many people go to work in a job that they hate to earn money instead of finding better ways to earn income and being with your family? Oh. Too many to count. You're okay, Benny. You wanna? What's the matter? Is I wanted to get sad about you. Want to stop? I'll be done in a minute. I'm gonna make us some lunch. Anyway, I've been running my mouth long enough. There is a shift. I don't think we're in the age of Aquarius. I know we're not in the age of Aquarius. About another 125 years. So depending on however I die. See, I could die tomorrow, today, whatever. Be reincarnated. Live a whole other full life. Die again. Still being reincarnated. And still, I'm kind of done. I'm kind of done with this. Earth is the freaking densest, lowest vibrational freaking planet, dude. It's like an alien ant farm. Prison planet, call it whatever you want. People just do weird, gross shit. They like putting fucking things in holes and in other people and making people hurt, and then they blankly look at it because they're void of spirit, and it's just... And then they make movies about it, and then all these people go watch the movies where people can voidly watch and without spirit. And if you're not into that, go voidly watch freaking a bunch of men that make millions of dollars that are so roided out on so many freaking synthetic drugs that they're completely voided of spirit, but maybe someone will get hit real hard and break their neck, and, you know, all the void of spirit can, yay! Go team. So, World War III is definitely a war of the variety. People are coming into it. You know? Was it like 500... Last time Pluto, Saturn, all this stuff happened, it was when the printing press came to be, you know. That's when the church became to be the church. It was a good idea why it lasted. And now, the new era is people are going to find that you don't need to go to a church to find your connection to God, source, higher power. You don't need some freaking creepy dude in a robe. Who knows what he's got under that robe? Who or what? What God he's actually serving? I mean, look at all the freaking mega churches. They're millionaires. That Austin dude, scumbag. Like to be a fly on the wall of heaven when he met his maker. You know? How many freaking vacation homes do you got in the square footage and your employees and your staff, and then when your community... Dude fucking literally locked the door on him. He was literally like the Noah's Ark, and he was like, no, fuck you, don't want to get the carpet soiled. Karma's a bitch, man. People are scared. People are really starting to believe in karma, and they're like, oh shit, I've done all this shit. What am I going to do? Good luck. Good luck. If you don't know by now, you ain't going to ever know by now. No, I kid. People can always step back into God. People have a choice to do right, not live that same way anymore. You know? Recognize the errors of their ways, how they've been serving those lower vibrational entities. People are figured out, man. Demons, people get negative attachments. Like, you know, someone takes their last breath, that frequency goes out, you know? Somebody's walking their dog, bam! Frequency hits them. All of a sudden they're like, I've never been a smoker, but all of a sudden I want to go get a pack of Marlboros. Shit like that. That stuff all happens. It's all real. And the people that profit of it from her the most are the ones saying and creating the dialogue, that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. It's cognitive dissonance. I think that's Satan's greatest tool. Is all that... Tuck, you okay? It's okay. Come on. Mom, he's so unsure in his back legs now. Oh, he's so wonky in his back end. Oh my God, Tuck, he just walked out to hang out with Grandma. Our structures are so fragile, and people going around living like their freaking soul sacks are invincible. It sucks seeing the potential of every accident, you know? And then when they happen, and no! I don't think that we make them happen. I just think that we see the potential of how these things can happen. And we can't account for everything, you know? I knew I was over my head with 4 dogs when I made the commitment. That's what I do. I love things. When we're all the wonky the FUBAR group. No, we aren't FUBAR. God has the power to freaking heal us all. He really does. So,